I used to be in love with Andrew Tate, not in a cute way, in a fly to Romania while psychotic and try to meet him way. This is a story of my psychotic breakdown. It started in late 2022. I posted a video called The Problem with Andrew Tate. My uncle immediately tore it apart and insisted that Tate was a great man. Despite being anti-feminist, I didn't like Tate at all. His attitude towards women is vile and he never came across as genuine or intelligent. But my uncle was determined to convert me. Around this time, I started smoking weed regularly, almost daily. Before that, it was only every few months and with other people. But now, I would go to the park, light up a joint, and smoke by myself. My uncle kept on sending Tate videos, and after I watched Tate on Piers Morgan, I thought, okay, he's not that awful. And then, in early 2023, I started hallucinating about Tate. Romantic hallucinations. I was actually in a relationship at the time and my boyfriend had no idea. My obsession escalated, thinking about him, fantasizing about him, obsessing about him, and weed did not help. Then I started going to Speaker's Corner every Sunday to talk about feminism and, thanks to my uncle, to defend Andrew Tate. This guy named Street Mike would film me, always asking about Tate, and I just repeat whatever nonsense my uncle had put into my head, like he loves women, he's innocent, etc. Meanwhile, my delusions were growing. I met a Muslim man who invited me to an Ahmadiyya convention. I'm not religious, and my uncle, a Hindu, had been encouraging me to worship the cat goddess Bastet, so I was praying to her daily. I also thought I was talking to spirits. The Muslim man later moved to Jordan with his wife and children. Yes, he was married, and started doing YouTube videos with me and my uncle about religion and feminism. Around the same time, my uncle was telling me insane things. I once asked if Tate would ever be interested in me, and he said, Andrew Tate is the hero all men aspire to be. You are the archetypal princess. I read that message hundreds of times. My uncle, the Muslim man, and I were doing live streams together. My uncle said that the Muslim man would be the perfect person to wed me and Tate. I genuinely believed him. Then my uncle told me I was a prophet and Tate was the Messiah, and I was receiving divine revelations from Bastet. In December, I posted a video, All I Want for Christmas Is You, singing, and I thought I was sending a message to Tate. The Muslim man thought it was for him, and started talking about him marrying me, which confused me even more. Meanwhile, my uncle kept on feeding the delusion that Tate and I were destined to be together. He literally said that Tate and I were destiny, and we were ordained by God. In January 2024, my uncle messaged me saying, at least you'll be in Jordan safe and protected. The Muslim man wanted to marry me in Jordan. I told my parents I was marrying Andrew Tate. They took away my passport, called the police, and dragged me to a psychiatrist. I stopped smoking weed, but unfortunately that did not stop the psychosis. Not long after, with the help of the Muslim man, I got a new passport and went to Jordan anyway. When I arrived, I asked the Muslim man if he'd be officiating my marriage to Andrew Tate. He said no, obviously, and then took me to his one-bedroom flat that he lived in away from his wife. I realized how dangerous the situation was, panicked, and tweeted Tate saying, help me please. My uncle told me to get out, so I found a hotel and stayed there overnight. The next morning, my mom booked me the earliest flight home. I spent the entire day in the airport confused and exhausted. Back in London, I completely deteriorated. In April, I was admitted to hospital and sectioned for 9 months. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. I was talking to myself, believing I was communicating with deities, convinced my family were abusive, and convinced everyone was against me. I completely cut off my uncle at this point too. In January 2025, this year, I was discharged, still partly delusional. I still thought that Tate and I were getting married. So in May, I went to Romania. Got a new passport again, flew to Bucharest, then panicked and went from Bucharest to north of the country because I thought my family would try and find me. I stayed in this small town called Cluj-Napoca for weeks and made one trip to Bucharest to try and meet Tate. I went to his house. They told me he wasn't there and sent me away. I spent 9 months on a train back to Cluj, called a friend, confessed the whole thing, and both she and another friend made it clear, Tate is a terrible person. Your uncle manipulated you. Go home. I called my social worker who got me a flight home. When I came back to London, I deleted all my YouTube videos. Only this year, in August and September, did I re-upload most of my old content. I've only been stable since around September. I was on about 7 antipsychotics, and now I'm only on antidepressants. This whole thing was a terrible nightmare. I've had suicidal thoughts for the last 2 years. I lost friends. My family were amazing. They visited constantly. The Samaritans have also kept me alive. I call them regularly, and if you're in the UK and are having any kinds of trouble, I really recommend giving them a call. I've also given up spirituality completely. I am now agnostic. Religion and delusion do not mix well, at least not for me. If you're religious, that's fine, but it just messed with my head. I'm now living independently, writing a new novel, and making YouTube videos again. For those who don't know, I'm an author, so please do check out my author channel. This channel will focus on social commentary, anti-feminism, and mental health. Thanks for watching, do subscribe, and please don't kill anyone. Mwah.